Hey everybody, David here at Mojo, and tomorrow is Friday, March 29th, and you're going to get 8 bug fixes and updates to the Mojo system, which I'm going to cover in this video. I've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to go pretty briskly, but I'm going to try to get it all in a decent amount of time here. First things first. On March 21st, we released a new vendor into our production neighborhood search. What that means is we're always shaking hands of data providers, getting told what they can do, how great they are, and then we put, the rubber to the pavement and we test all of this stuff in a development environment. And we found our folks, and on March 21st, we transitioned over to their data, and it updated a bunch of the existing neighborhood search records. It deleted a bunch that were no good, and it also added a bunch. So we've done the analytics on this new data set this morning. My engineers did this nice, pretty spreadsheet for us as a team. We all went over it as a team, and I'm very excited to report to you that on the 500,000 phone calls that we processed in this analysis since the new data has hit the neighborhood search, versus the previous 500,000 calls on the old data set, we're seeing a huge increase in quality. The metric that matters to me, because I like to provide value, is that your contact rates dialing on the new data imported since March 21st has literally doubled. That's right. Your contact rates on the new data have doubled. And there's more. We're seeing a disconnected response from our dialers. It has dropped 85%. So on the 500,000 phone calls, 85% fewer disconnected responses, meaning there's way less disconnected phone numbers. And we're seeing a 90% reduction in fax line connection. These are all the things that help you get more efficient with your prospecting using Mojo. You're spending less time on bad data, more time on the good data, and again, it's literally doubled your contact rates. And that's not where we're going to stop. We have other vendors that are going to come into play over the next 60 days, and we've got some very cool stuff going to hit Mojo in regards to data. All right, the second thing we did is we're now by default putting the email column in the data grid. And that's trivial, but it's been requested quite a bit. While I'm here on the My Data screen, I'm going to go ahead and show you another change we made. I'm going to go ahead and initiate an export, and you're going to see here that this box is a little bit different. These in production today are swapped. Fields to export are on the left, and available fields are on the right. That was backwards, didn't make sense. We just never focused on it because it's such a minor thing, or it was a minor thing at the time. Now with so many people exporting data in and out of Mojo, it was something that was requested. So now your fields that are going to export are in the right-hand column instead of the left. It's more in line with other programs that you use. You can drag and you can actually move these fields around so they're in the order that you want. And additionally, you can now see the date of your notes. So the third change is we added an actual timestamp to the notes in the export. So when you bring them into, maybe you have a different CRM, you're going to be able to see the date you took those notes, whereas prior to this update, you haven't been able to see those. All right. Speaking of email, if I open up one of these contacts, there was a bug. And that bug related to email. And here's how it worked. If you sent somebody emails through Mojo to test@test.com, right, to that email address, and you found out after sending it 3 or 4 times that wasn't the correct email, and then you updated it, well, the history tab only showed you the updated email address for all of the sends, and never showed you that you once had an incorrect email. So now, starting tomorrow, you're going to see the old email address and the activity related to it, as well as the new one. We have more and more folks using checklists because they're ditching their CRM or their task manager, and they're using Mojo because they spend so much time in it. One of the issues in Mojo before pertaining to the checklist was when you cross an item off your list, it stayed in the same area on the UI, and people hated it because it's easy to get a 20-item checklist. So you'd have to scroll through things you already completed in order to get to the next one. So now let me demonstrate. I'm going to click Advise Team of New Listing, choose Complete. It just went to the bottom of the line there. You can see it's crossed out. There's a green checkbox. And now the next thing on my checklist is the first thing that I see, and that's important when we want to be efficient. There was an issue with the co-owner usage, the tag co-owner, when sending out our printing letters or printing mailing labels. And the issue was this: when you guys would choose to have a co-owner tag, it would print great if the contact had the co-owner. Well, at some point we introduced a bug where if one of your records didn't have a co-owner, it literally printed co-owner. Terrible. Well, now it's got the logic starting tomorrow where if there's not a co-owner, it doesn't print anything. You just have the primary contact. So hopefully for those of you whaling letters out of Mojo and printing labels, you guys will now be a lot less frustrated when it comes to printing. Last but not least, I want to bring up something that's going to affect Keller Williams agents. We're getting, tons of inquiries about KW Command. We've gone back and forth with Keller Williams and their development team responsible for the Command platform on how we're going to integrate, because we just have thousands and thousands of Keller Williams agents. We have to figure out a process. And originally, we were going to do a face-to-face integration. The team at Keller Williams, along with the folks at PieSync, brought to us a better solution where we're going to tie in Mojo to KW Command via PieSync. Now, PieSync is not released yet. My developers and QA testers are testing it today. With PieSync, you're going to be able to push data back and forth from the Command platform to Mojo and vice versa, and updates will happen using a unique contact ID. So we're really excited about that. When's it going to be done? Well, again, my team and the folks at PieSync really nailed down the testing of it this week, and my team is putting together the user documentation on how to set it up. Look for this early next week, mid next week. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great weekend. Until next time, make it a great day.